Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 38 of my Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, United States of America campaign. So we're recruiting Disney and took a break, had some lunch. I think I'm in a zone where we're just going to knock the rest of this out. Let's see, so it's August 75, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So by about mid-1976, as we're approaching the end of the second term, we're going to be done with these things. I don't think that there's any 1976 election event, so we're just going to basically hope that we're going to knock out every single one of these Aries things correctly the first time. We'll hope in one hand and shit in the other, right? That's been the story of this campaign. Denial of the enemy is not enough to win the war. Our own advancements of the nuclear sciences must match and overpace that of Germany and Japan if we mean to conclusively overpower them in nuclear armaments. The development of ever stronger nuclear weapons demands ever larger investments in our scientific industrial base, a price well worth paying. What is this? Nuclear is a dirty... By the way, we're gonna go ahead and drop the construction. I think are we done, actually? No, we're not done with the reactors. Soon, though. Nuclear is a dirty word in American politics. They're uneducated. They're fearful of things radioactive. Our advisors have been in talk with the Walt Disney Company to start creating some informational materials. The first decision we need to make is to what to focus on. Do we target the Hawks and try to focus on our nuclear stockpile, or discuss the potential of nuclear power? Let's say nuclear energy is the way of the future, since I've been making all of those reactors and such. Yeah. Okay. Building things in Iceland and Madagascar. I am a silly bitch if I do say so myself. What's this? Heightened suspicions? Keeping their attention. Nuclear power is a popular alternative. Our industry has decided to target kids with the newest campaign. We must make decisions on where to focus the campaign to ensure children are educated. When we are making movies about nuclear reactors for kids, we don't want them to get bored and fall asleep. That would ruin the entire campaign. However, if you show too much action, not information, the point of nuclear energy could also fall through. Should we focus on action to get the kids excited, or should we focus on education to make sure we get our point across? We need to educate kids so the kids will get the message. You can educate and entertain at the same time. Then again, I'm somebody who likes to learn things, so I'm not sure if I'm the best person to ask about those sorts of things. But I remember one of my favorite cartoons growing up was Liberty's Kids. It was a PBS show, because we didn't have cable. It was a PBS show about the American Revolution. And if you could just get over the fact that the characters never age, or at least the main characters never do, it covers a huge swath of the American Revolution. It starts with... I believe episode 1 was the night of the Boston Tea Party. So here's the premise, right? You're seeing the point of view of this girl who is, she's like a teenager, and she's, actually, it was never really clear on their age, I think. I think she was like, maybe she was 18. Anyway, a woman, girl, whatever. It was too educational, everyone fell asleep. But the parents enjoyed it. The parents praised us for putting their kids to sleep and providing an informative presentation on the future of science. Even though we failed to persuade our target audience, it seems we've picked up a new audience that might support our nuclear reactor program. We should target the educated adults next. That's funny. Anyway, so the gimmick was that she was this British girl who was coming to the Americas to meet her father, who had been carving out some land for them. So the ship that she's on ends up being the one that gets attacked in the Boston Tea Party, like it's carrying the tea. And so she ends up linking up with James, who's the main guy, so it's James and Sarah, and he works for Benjamin Franklin at a printing press office of his in Philadelphia, but they were in Boston that night for some reason. Glowing star over Chicago. Is everything all right? Follow me now. Get out. My one regret is that I couldn't share a beer with the two men who made all this possible. Flight training made alcohol taste terrible for me. So I'm having a drink with Rockefeller and Metzenbaum. Thank you both for everything. Wasn't that sweet? All right, let's launch the Ares 1, baby. 70% prepared. Woo, I'm spooked. Let's go. We need to do 4 of these, remember? Okay. Oh, yeah, let's increase our unity. Oh, no! Did I click NP? Son of a bitch. Okay, whatever. Got power to spare. Our yield must grow. We control the power. So the OFN gets more unified, as if anything has ever not unifying it at all times. Because I'm that awesome. Okay, we're still waiting on these. Yeah, it was going to be December, right? The power of the gods. Unless pushed to the edge, America would never fire first. It had these purely for defense, of course, insurance in case the worst came to pass. What's the range on this missile? The Minuteman III claims a range of around 13,000 kilometers. That's roughly 8,000 miles, and farther than any other missile currently in service on the planet. Incredible, the president said, and they don't even know we have it. Krauts and Nips would be shaking in their boots if they knew all the stuff we got up to. America needs a strong nuclear defense, and I'm glad my administration was helped provide for it. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Okay, so that was coming off the our yield must grow, I think. Power of the gods! Anyway, so the concept ends up becoming that Benjamin Franklin is employing these two kids, and there's also like a sidekick character, Henri, who's French. He's this French kid, very young. In the red, the rocket ships ain't doing jack shit. We've revised the budget estimates. There's not enough red ink in Washington. We're not cutting the nuclear program. I'm trying to win this civil war, for God's sakes, and we're not doing that if we fall behind on the atomic curve. Research costs were open-ended. Weapons costs could come down, but only over time. That left will lean on the uranium mines. So we suffered popularity hits in states without reactors, but guess what? Anyway, so they're journalists. They end up being journalists for Benjamin Franklin, and so they see all sorts of events during the American Revolution. You know, they're there like because there's two of them. There's always at least one of them at every big event, so they can also be in different colonies, but. Of course, they meet all sorts of famous characters from the American Revolution. Franklin, obviously, but like Washington. Benedict Arnold is a seriously major character in that show. So, like, he's really well developed, and you get to know him very well before his defection, which I thought was really interesting. Like, you know, you see him in Saratoga and when he's fighting in Canada and all sorts of things like that. And then Sarah, she's a British citizen, like from England, so she's like a Tory basically, and then James is a hardcore patriot. But they definitely get into like the bad things, you know, on both sides, many sides. It's just a super good series, and it's all free on YouTube. I think they just cut out the opening song sometimes for like copyright. But it's really, really good, and it's genuinely like a better American Revolution education than you'll get in like high school. Because it gets into the Native Americans. It's so comprehensive. It's tons of episodes. Game of chicken. That's not the price we discussed a week ago, you ass. Tell me why the asking price for a pound of uranium doubled overnight. It's business. The price cuts you request can't be done. You want us to work to getting these costs down, then we're going to need larger mines and more modern refining techniques. And with the budget deficits you've been printing, we figured you wouldn't be up for a federal joint venture. You're extorting the government. You work for me now, or the public is unlikely to support future projects if nothing's done to address costs. Oh, guess. Oh, he's going to nationalize the uranium mines. It's for national security, bitch. What is going on with the Ares program? I'm getting nervous. We haven't heard anything from it. 15 days. Okay, we're going to give this to the end of the month, and then I'm going to do the console command. Okay. What are we going to do here? Incidentally, I have seen, I am aware of the criticism. There's some people who have already been speculating. There's people guessing on all sorts of paths that I was going to take in this campaign. As of the time that I'm recording this, I've got like 4 episodes up, but people are already speculating RFK into Glenn, which apparently somebody else has already done on YouTube. I did not know that. But yep, national security interest. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I went into this blind. I didn't want to watch somebody else's campaign to figure out how these things worked. I'm going to play the USA again, but there was no need to scream and shout at me in the comments over it, especially because I say at the start of all my series, if the whole series isn't pre-recorded, at the very least, I tend to try to have a significant portion of the series recorded. So some people were being a little rude. Under the authority of the Defensive Production Act, the federal government will place certain uranium production and refining interests under public management with immediate effect. This is called socialist madness. There's people breaking ranks. By evening, however, the majority of companies affected had gathered their legal counsel for a press conference in New York, denouncing the administration's actions and vowing to not go down without a fight. They will not go quietly. Costs for maintaining and expanding our nuclear arsenal have decreased by 10%. Several mining companies have begun supporting the NPP. Letter from the Joint Chiefs. There's the tantrum because we're not spending enough on tanks, planes, and aircraft carriers. Give them nukes, they want tanks. Give them tanks, they want helicopters, and on it goes. We want a bit of everything, but we can't do that. Congress will throw a conniption if we ask them for more money. Unless we take it from the NCC, but that will slow the construction of new reactors. The military has more than enough already. Who are they to go against the commander-in-chief? Or we could say the rate at which you construct nuclear weapons will be reduced. A new military spending bill will be introduced to the Senate. We have 2 months to pass it. The Republican Democrats are unlikely to stand for even more expenses being added to the quickly growing pile. That's interesting. Yeah, well, anyway, they've got enough money. We're not at war. We haven't been at war. We've just had a couple proxy wars. This is ridiculous. Disquiet on the record. In this country, if you want something, you pay for it. It's not American. President's always been a dreamer. Where does he think he goes? So basically, people are pissed about this. The party's growing divided over my nationalizing the mines. Yep, I think we're going to have to do the console command, guys. Let me look up what it is again. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, so I popped it in. Hopefully we're not going to have to continuously do that. Because I'll tell you what, we're just going to have them all succeed. Because honestly, it's just a matter of time. There's no reason to be waiting. Oh, wow, we actually ended up building every an airbase everywhere in the country. Look at that. Everywhere the light touches, we have air bases. That was before I was even done with the reactors. Funny. Rumbles from the Pentagon. There's no more money. Dude, because of the National Commission, they're apoplectic. Wham, wham, wham. More nukes. Missiles to launch the nukes. Bombers to drop the nukes. Submarines to sneak around the nukes. Glenn's forgotten where he came from. They can't reveal their displeasure. Congress would roast them alive in committee meetings for wanting this money, and the public would not be too keen on having to foot the bill on yet more experimental projects. So there's only a minor ripple. Our support among the enlisted falls. Our public support will go down. Whatever. Deal with it, nerds. The mining companies have filed suit against us. Let us hope the Supreme Court is favorably inclined towards us. Well, shoot, we've had that bug where every freaking time... Yeah, it's still 5-4. It's been stuck at 5-4 since Thurmond. Dang it all. By the way, I'm waiting till November 15th because I think when it said successful, then it like reset the rocket status thing. There we go. Mission rewards. 20 public opinion for successful Ares program. Why aren't we allowed to do this? That's right, because it takes 451 million. Well, we're going to siphon some military funding. Suck it, nerds. Suck it dry. And just keep doing this. So they're taking progressively longer. I'm guessing that maybe it's because each program is going out further. Something like that. Okay. A few more days and we're going to be done with the reactors, and then we can shut down all this construction. What are these decisions available? The uranium case, going too far. I don't care for mining politics, Bushwell. Let's see. The president thinks he can do an end around Congress and the Constitution to strip private property for no good reason. He's got another thing coming at him. I thought we had a revolution over shit like this. Okay, pride cometh before a fall. This will weaken our case in the trial. Is there like a decisions thing we can do for this? Doesn't look like it. I think we're going to fail. Whatever. It's going to go through. I'll make it go through. Real shame, though, that I had to end up using some console commands. But again, by the time that you're watching this, these bugs should have been fixed. And they're just bugs. And just think of how much goes into these trees, into so much. It's like, you know, this is like the first real bug we've run into. I'm not remembering any other ones. It's kind of just like the space race thing and the Supreme Court thing. But all things considered, this is incredible work. I don't fault them for it. Sometimes things just fall through the cracks. We're going to extend the nuclear umbrella to basically protect the Aussies. Tip the scales in their favor against the numerically superior Japanese adversary. Oral hearings. Let's see. So the Solicitor General, that's our lawyer basically, is saying justices from requisitioning produce during the Revolutionary War to control over vital industries in the last World War, we must insist that the government has the customary power to intervene in private enterprise in the express service of national security and present dangers of the Cold War. They conferred, then the Platon says, this is the person representing the uranium mine people. The government states it has the power to seize private property for national security, but surely you recognize the slippery slope that this represents. That kind of sums it up, doesn't it? Precedent cannot be enough to justify such a grave and drastic action. So we're going to get an event, the price of progress. What does that mean? I'm hoping that means good things for me. Okay. This is tricky because who knows, actually, because of the conservative liberal thing on the one hand, this is something that could be seen as like authoritarian socialism. But on the other hand, we're dressing it in the coat of national security, which should appeal to conservatives. So we're going to have to see. But I think that's it. We're done with all the reactors. Time to jam that construction button all the way down. And we're still going to have 107.31 billion deficit. Dang, what should I do then? Can't liquidate the reserves. Yeah, I just don't have a freaking clue. We can wait for the poverty rates to go up or something. Again, not the poverty should go up, but like poverty be reduced by increasing the... Improve is what we're saying. Wait, our monthly rate's only 3%, only 3 right now. Wasn't it 5 point something before? Well, we're probably definitely not going to get this done in time. Price of progress. The judgment is in. They had defied the traditional deference towards presidential authority. The only freedom the court protected today was the freedom of monopolists to defraud the government, Glenn marked sourly. Gallup's got polling survey for us. They're lacking in us, so we suffered a blow. Our costs are going to go up. Public support's going to go down. Whatever, I'm not running again. And once I land somebody on the moon, they ain't going to have much to say, are they? You better run. You better. So sorry. I'm sorry to any Aussies listening. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Austrian nuclear silos are a success. Damn hippies. So some people are complaining. Randall Forsberg, head of the anti-nuclear thing. How does this make the average American safer? By me not putting my boot in their ass because they're talking back. They'll be real safe. Oh, hey, look who's got reserves. 5 million. How did that happen? Seriously, how did that happen? Let's invest our reserves. I'm not sure I'm doing that right, actually. Okay, Aries is about to be ready. 16 days. Let's just keep this open. Yes. I should sing other Aussie songs. Didn't I sing I Was Only 19 earlier? That was by Red Gum. That's an Australian band. Maybe. Okay. How about maybe some Radio Birdman lyrics? Descent into the Maelstrom. Radio Birdman was like a proto-punk album. They were a proto-punk group. They were punk before punk existed. They just didn't really have a name for it. It's like, took a ride on the ocean, started swimming out. Somebody once told me, it's like he sounds like he's got marbles in his mouth while he sings. He's like, lost sight of land, time ran out, arms getting heavy, exhaustion setting in, waves getting better, bigger, life's getting thin, my brain was bleeding. No, my brain was screaming, my mind said no, my mind was bleeding. Said you gotta go, hit the high side, monster wave, buried at sea, in an early grave. Launch the Ares 2. Go! Okay, it's January 30th. I want something by Valentine's. Freefall dive, 1,000-foot pit, cliffs of water turning, Angel Chrome hit. the lyrics are a little weird. It's like, death like animals, the death of slaves, the death of humans getting sucked away, ships, trucks, and planes, a million screaming heads, agonized moaning from the island of the dead. I'm going down into the maelstrom, going down, gonna drown. Alive, 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 I'm alive. And of course there's some rockin' guitar solos in there, just well, there goes the last of the viewers of this series. They're gone now. Okay. Come on. Valentine's Day. That's what we're waiting for. What's the French date again? Yeah, that's right. Pierre Sidos. Mission rewards. 24 public support. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Alright, let's give it a minute, and then the Ares should pop up again. Come on. Where are you? Ares. Where's Ares? Give me the Ares. I might have to launch a freaking Daedalus. Come on! What is going on here? We'll give it to the end of the month, and then we're gonna do another. Bum ba da bum. Oh, there it is. The Ares program. 75 days once more. They're getting more expensive each time. Dun, dun. This is the one that rips off Gustav Holst. Yep, war. Every time. It's like, if I want to listen to Gustav Holst, I'll just listen to Gustav Holst. There we go. Well, I think at the rate we're going, we're not going to make it to 40 episodes, which is fine. I just was really starting to think we were going to get there. But I think at this point, we're like the only country in the world that still has content. Nobody else is actually doing anything. Maybe Iran, or if they finished their tiny tree. Yeah. Let's take a look at our liquid stuff again. Yeah, no, it's gone. I don't know where those reserves had come from. Let's decrease the civilian spending. Why not? There's no reason to not do that, I guess. Alright, finally, it's time to speak softly. This is the one that we got to get through. This is why I've been trying to continue sabotaging, so they do not have apocalyptic stockpiles. The Germans and the Japanese must be made to understand that America does not hide behind the moat of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. American submarines lie in the vast oceans, bringing nuclear annihilation to the very doorstep of our enemies. And should the Japanese or Germans sweep the seas clean, they will find American bombers and missiles waiting to strike beyond the range of their previous navies. If they want to reverse the tables and strike first, we will know and beat them to the punch. America can and will win a nuclear war. Nuclear war. It's nuclear, not nuclear. The sooner Japan and Germany realize that, they will realize the folly of continuing the arms race and come to the table to seek a new accommodation. Most excellent. Yeah, because we've been doing all sorts of stuff. I don't think I really went into it, but like, we got the Australians set up. We've got the early warning station in Iceland. We put our own nukes in Iceland. We have nuclear submarines. All sorts of things like that. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of in World War Z. I think that there was like a nuclear sub that the Chinese had, and it was designed to basically be a revenge kill submarine. Like if for some reason mainland China got nuked into the ground, then they'd be out at sea, and so they would just launch enough nukes to or like at least something to hurt whoever killed China. I remember thinking of a different sci-fi book. No, I'm pretty sure that was World War Z. 44 days, so after this is done, do-do-do-do, Mm-mm-mm. Thought of another Radio Birdman album, freaking New Race. It could also be fitting after the nuclear war. You know, there's gonna be a new race. Kids are gonna start it up. We're all gonna mutate. Kids are sitting, yeah, hup. Yeah, hup. Really gonna punch you out. Yeah, hup. Really gonna punch you out. We're sick of waking up late, gotta get some control. The kids are gonna mutate from an endless roll. Scared of circular time that keeps faking us out. Kids are gonna eject, cause now it's time to punch out. Ah, yes. Here I am singing Radio Birdman lyrics, and I still have not gotten around to the Beach Boys. It's because I'm going to do it after this series is over. I'm going to listen to some Pet Boys. Ooh, maybe we can just do a stream where I play it and just say the hell with monetization, right? Just chill and listen to the Beach Boys. Nah, that's not right. If I want to listen to an album for the first time, I like to focus on it. No longer getting the effects of the military austerity. Well, we're catching up a little bit. Yeah, the right now our deficit to income ratio is 64.7%. Okay, time to speak softly. So we're gonna get a broadcast for all to see. Oh, fortify the OFN, as if we haven't been doing that forever. Geez, at this point we should just become a single unified country. It's time to speak softly, but ready the big stick. I'll read this after we get the event. It should be any second now. Right? Maybe midnight. Okay. Okay, I guess we're not getting the event. So, but ready the big stick. Just in case the Germans and Japanese thought of all our previous military posturing and development was just a dog and pony show, we'll make sure we have a demonstration of the latest and greatest American military inventions and hardware for all the world to see. It would be a terrible waste for this to ever actually be used, of course, and we're counting on the Germans and Japanese seeing it the same way we do. Are we going to launch a nuke somewhere to just show how destructive it is? Just invite the Germans and Japanese ambassador over and tell them, it's like, hey, point somewhere on the map. Someplace you don't like. And then he's like, okay, let's give it 10 minutes. And then... Alright. Another research slot available. Who gives a goddamn? 14 days. 13 days to go. So that'll be ready before the big stick's done. So yeah, we'll keep this open. And we're going to launch the Air... What is this going to be? The Ares 3, right? 75 days each. I think this is going to time out nicely where we're going to create a piece and then launch to Mars. At about either at the same time or like one after the other. Very nice. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just waiting. What a series this has been. I'm going to definitely do an after-action report on this series, which is something I should get back in the habit of doing. I used to do that all the time years ago. After every campaign, I would do a separate video where I would just kind of go over how I felt about it, talk about things I think I personally did right and wrong, things I did and did not like about the game, and stuff like that. I think it made me a better player. But those are AARs. I picked that up from being in the Army. You know, all right, 3 up, 3 down, all that crap. Two days to go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Stop! Send it. Now, the fourth one, we're going to make absolutely sure that thing's ready to go. Don't get me wrong. Dancing among the stars, forward unto heaven. So that's the one that's going to take us to Mars. I don't need them dying up there somehow, and then they just float off into the asteroid belt. Okay. Let's check the economy. Of course, still no liquid reserves. That makes sense. It's the interest rates. That's what's killing me. Growth rate is 1.9% annually. Annual budget is 1.29 billion. I don't know. Other expenditures 10.8. So this is like, you know, Social Security and all of that. Okay, 7 seconds detections. Contingency planning and redundancies must be built into every strategy. What if the enemy overpowers our forward warning stations in Australia and Iceland by surprise? America cannot be left defenseless due to its reliance on forewarning from distant shores. We will install a final set of early warning radars in Canada and Alaska. If we ever end up dependent on these systems, the window to retaliate will be minuscule, but it will be there. Okay. Mission rewards. America's heart lies with its astronauts. So we got a full 20. All right. Hold on to your butts, everybody. All right, I'm waiting for the Ares thing to pop up, and then we'll end the episode. Takes a few days. I know it's got to like cool down, but then we're gonna have the. It's gonna take 75 days. So yeah, it's gonna. Man, maybe we should just time it out that we just launch it as soon as we're done with these two things. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Think of all those offers. Oh shoot, we don't have money. Siphon and raise the spending cap. Oh, we're actually going to need even more. Let's do some joint testing programs as well as usual. And then I might just cut the other programs just to be a little spiteful here at the end. Yes, cut it! Cut it! No, the authoritarian Democrats, they've been kind of squeaking in, getting a little bit more here and there, haven't they? I guess that's what happens when you don't do anything in the South. You just let them grow like some kind of rot. Okay, come on. June 6th, D-Day anniversary. No. Well, D-Day didn't happen in this world, did it? It was Sea Lion that happened. What the F is going on? I want to launch Ares. I should have been tracking how many days it takes to reset. Come on, come on. So if we do this, the next episode might be the last one, although I don't know how long it's going to take to actually launch the Ares. See, I didn't consider when I was doing this that, like, there was going to be a thing where... there it is! Invest into the Ares program. 75 days, people. 75 days. So, man, maybe we should just be bold and throw it. Okay, anyway, I'm conquered. You know, just throw it, not even get to 100, even though I've been promising that so much. No, we won't. We're just gonna have to wait a few days longer, but this one will succeed. I'm Conquering History Games, and I'll see you next time, in which we are going to do this Fragile Peace thing, and that'll replace our Ray of Hope with Daring to Dream, which is cool. And then we will maybe capstone the entire series with having the Eagle land on Mars. I'm super excited for it. This series has been amazing, and I'll see you then.